Hello to all my subscribers and thank you for being part of Project Walmer 245. This is the case number of the execution-style murder of Scott Ayton and Felix Coetzee, and you are part of this investigation because it is because of my followers that new information came to light, allowing me to look in a different direction in this investigation, which remains unsolved and ice cold. When I made the initial post on Facebook that I was looking into this cold case, I already did substantial research into the case. I read almost every published news article from back in the day, spoke to some of the journalists and photographers who were at the scene, and family members and friends who are still, to this day, 32 years later, traumatized by this unsolved mystery. But how much of a mystery is it really? And why did the investigation run cold? A few questions I ask myself. Why did the police initially give incorrect information to the media when news of the murders broke? For example, it was said that each victim was shot once, when that was not the case. Why did police wait so long to question people at Scott and Felix's place of work? Decca, where Scotty worked, was only looked at much later, and Algerax, who is a national key point, was never mentioned beyond the fact that Felix had worked there. Throughout my investigation, you will also hear the name of the infamous late Corrie Goosen, who was later said to be linked to this crime, but he died in a horrific bike accident before police could question him in 1997, 3 years after the murders. Why were friends of one of the victims followed for a week after the murder? Why were journalists intimidated into backing off with one who had a car set alight? The list of questions is so long, and the more you ask, the more questions unfold. So to tackle this case, I decided to start at the crime scene as any investigator would. You get word of a crime being committed, and you go to the scene. And from there on, you have to work your way back, and that is what I did. What is my interest in the case? I've been asked this by many people who spoke to me hesitantly or on condition of anonymity. And my answer is simple, why not? What is important here is not just who killed these men. The question is, who gave the order for the hits? And for that, you have to follow the money. Sadly, after 3 decades, many people have died, but many are still alive. Some looking for answers, while others will take the truth to their graves. The fact that these murders took place 3 weeks after South Africa's first democratic election is significant because there is a link to weapons smuggling here after the fall of apartheid. It is safe to say in all certainty that Scott and Felix were in possession of information, proof on tape and paper that would have destroyed powerful people. And quite simply put, they had to be eliminated. And having them together in the house was a perfect scenario for the killers, who followed these men at least 3 weeks prior to the murders. I can also tell you as a fact that Felix knew his life was in danger, and his anxiety levels were through the roof. He wanted to speak to his sisters and tell them something important. He would not speak to them separately, but insisted on seeing them together. He waited at their workplace, but never got to see them to tell them what was so urgent, serious, and heavy on his heart. In a letter he wrote to his soon-to-be fiancée in the USA, which he never got to mail, he ended the letter saying that he hoped to see her soon, if he was still alive. There are so many layers to this story, but for the first installment, as promised, I will look into the crime scene, and the information I will share with you is 100% factual.